The A-Team Challenge, a major project of the Foundation for Lee County Public Schools, is produced in partnership with the School District of Lee County, Waterman Broadcasting, and NBC2. This program features high school students in both public and private schools from 6 Southwest Florida counties as they compete in this exciting academic challenge. Lee County High School student interns help produce the show under the direction of the Lee County Schools Communication and Production Department. The A-Team Challenge is brought to you by the Suncoast Credit Union Foundation and a contributing sponsorship by Hodges University.
Hi everybody, welcome to Game 4 of the A-Team Challenge. I'm Robert Van Winkle, your host today, and I'm happy to be here, and I hope you're going to have a good time watching our game today. The A-Team Challenge is in its 27th year, partnering with the Foundation for Lee County Public Schools, the Lee County School District, and of course NBC2. You can watch our games on Comcast Channel 99, also on the internet at leeschools.net. We are in a single elimination competition. We started off 2016 with 36 high schools from 6 Southwest Florida counties. One of these fine schools will be moving on to the next round. Students, we're going to answer questions today in science, math, arts and humanities, language arts, social studies, and a couple of general knowledge questions as well. Here are the rules of the A-Team Challenge. We're going to play 3 rounds first, worth 5, 10, and 20 points respectively. Students, remember, in the first 3 rounds, you're to work individually. No help from your neighbors. And if you buzz in early and miss the question, there is no penalty for a wrong answer. However, the opposing team will get a chance to answer the question after hearing it in its entirety and possibly steal the point away. In the final round, you'll be wagering as much or as little of your score as you wish, and the winner will move on. So today I welcome on my right Fort Myers High School. These students have some big shoes to fill, winners of the A-Team Challenge. The school was last year. And on this side, Mariner High School, you folks are no strangers to the A-Team, but we do have some new players there as well. So I'm glad to see both of you competing against each other here today. All right, here we go. Our 5-point round is about to begin. Students, put your hands on your buzzers. Let's play the A-Team. Its 125th anniversary was recently celebrated with a new glass floor 180 feet off the ground. Name this landmark, built for the 1889 World's Fair in Paris. Richard, Fort Myers.
The Eiffel Tower.
La Tour Eiffel, very good. 5 points starts us off for Fort Myers. Next question for 5. It recently received a new lighting system to make its old artwork look brighter and reduce the damage caused by tourists who visit Rome. Name this building where cardinals meet to elect a new pope and whose ceiling, Robert Mariner.
The Vatican.
Nope, sorry, not the Vatican. Fort Myers, the ceiling was painted by Michelangelo. Rachel W.
The Sistine Chapel.
Yeah, you were close, but I needed a more specific answer from Fort Myers, and I got it. 5 points there. Next question for 5 points. In some sports, all athletes who reach a certain level of excellence receive this designation. In football and basketball, this designation is bestowed by national media or coaches groups. Give this hyphenated adjective used to describe the best players in the U.S. Rachel H.
It's not MVP.
Say again?
Sorry. It's MVP.
MVP? No, MVP is not correct. Mariner, give the hyphenated adjective to describe the best players in the United States in a given sport. Nick, Mariner.
Varsity.
Nope. The hyphenated word I'm looking for is All-American. All-American. All right? Here's a little hint as we go forward now. Don't overthink things, all right? Just listen to the questions. Here we go. Mansa Musa was the most famous ruler of what African empire that contained the city of Timbuktu and most of the other land now within its boundaries? Nick, Mariner.
Ghana.
No, good try. Fort Myers. Rachel W.
Mali.
Mali, correct. Good job. 5 points, Fort Myers. Next for 5. The composers of this tune wondered, what does it feel like to be the perfect exalted person, but only because you've held back this secret? The answer to that question has now been recorded in more than 40 languages, besides the version sung by Idina Menzel, who sings about a kingdom of isolation and it looks like I'm the queen. Alia.
Let It Go.
Let It Go, named the Oscar-winning hit song from Frozen. Fort Myers, 5 points. Next for 5. Its protagonist begins to desire this story's title object after encountering a man with a broken arm and a bandaged head. Name this Stephen Crane novella, subtitled An Episode of the American Civil War, that tells of the Union soldier Henry Fleming. It's the red badge of courage. Now they're shaking their heads. All right, next question for 5. Put a chemical in this small object, hold it with tongs, heat it using a Bunsen burner, and then, Nick, Mariner High School.
I didn't buzz.
I'm sorry,
Test
Nick.
tube.
It was Robert.
Test tube.
Test tube, sorry, Nick. Yes, Robert, good job, 5 points. Test tube. Name the term for that small object. Next question for 5. The beginning of Rutherford B. Hayes' time as U.S. President in 1877 marked the end of what? Rachel W.
Reconstruction.
That's the end of the post-Civil War era. I was looking for 5 points, Fort Myers. Next for 5. The Charles Dickens novel, A Tale of Two Cities, is set during the French Revolution. The two cities in the title are Paris and what city in England, where Dickens himself lived for many years? Nick, Mariner.
London.
London is correct. 5 points, Mariner. Next, it was America's temporary capital when George Washington resigned his commission in the Continental Army. Name this city, some 30 miles east of Washington, D.C., that is now the home of the U.S. Naval Academy and the capital of Maryland. Casey, Mariner.
New York.
No, sorry, incorrect. Fort Myers. Rachel W.
Annapolis.
Annapolis, Maryland is the correct response. 5 points, Fort Myers. All right, that concludes the 5-point round. Mariners on the board, Fort Myers is on the board, and we are underway with the A team. Let's introduce you to the student players from Fort Myers High School before we take our first break. Position number 1, you may have noticed I've been calling the Rachels with the initial at the last name. We have 2 Rachels on the team. The first one is Rachel Wexler. Rachel is a senior this year. She's going to be off to the university of her choice to study public policy in the future. Rachel W., welcome to you. Next, we have Alia Zuberi. Alia is a junior this year. Her plans are to head to Columbia University and study environmental engineering and international relations. Alia, welcome. In the back row, we have Rachel Heisa. Rachel is a junior this year. She's going to be called Rachel H., and she's off to the University of Florida, and she wants to perform professionally playing the oboe. And your grandma's going to be very proud of your mom. Which one is it? One of the 2. Next, and rounding out the team, is Richard. Richard Walker. Richard Walker is a senior this year, and he would like to go to UF and study engineering. Richard, Rachel H., and Rachel W., and Alia, under the coaching of Deborah Daladonis. Once again, Deborah, fine job with your students year after year at Fort Myers High School. We'll be back to introduce you to the Mariner High School players in just a minute. Thanks for starting us off so well, teams. Give yourself a round of applause. We'll be back.
2 pennies by themselves don't add up to much. But when you're a Suncoast member, every time you swipe your Suncoast credit or debit card, Suncoast donates 2 cents to help children's programs where you live. That means Suncoast members help make their community a better place every day just by buying things with their cards. And when we add all those pennies from all those Suncoast card swipes together, we can give millions of dollars to our children's future. Visit SuncoastCreditUnion.com and learn how much Suncoast could save you.
Hi, my name is Marshall Bauer, and I'm proud to say I'm the Executive Director of the Foundation for Lee County Public Schools. The Foundation has as its mission engaging the business community and the community at large with our students and teachers in the public school system. Through our many initiatives and programs, we enhance and enrich what is already going on in our public school system. The goal in mind is the same goal that the school district has, to make Lee County Public Schools a world-class school system. It is important that the community understand that our students will be competing in a global market, and in order for them to succeed, they need the backing of the entire community. So please reach out to a student, to a teacher, and help the foundation succeed in its mission. Thank you.
Welcome back to the A-Team Challenge. Good game going on here between Fort Myers High School and Mariner High School. And now we'll introduce you to the players at Mariner. In position number 1, welcome to Nick Angelo. Nick is a junior this year. He wants to head to the University of California and study business. Nick, welcome to you. Next to Nick is Robert. Robert Herring is a junior. He would like to go to UCF and study electrical engineering. Robert, welcome to you. Two fine ladies in the back. We have Anna Martinez. Anna is a junior this year, and a nice smile on Anna. She's going to head to the University of Miami and study graphic design. And rounding out the team is Casey Riles. Casey is a senior this year, wants to go to UCF as well, and her plan is to study economics. Welcome to Casey, Anna, Robert, and Nick under the coaching of Kimberly Williams at Mariner High School. All right, students, 10 points are up for grab for each question answered correctly. Hands on your buzzers, here we go. It honors every living American who's ever served in the military. Casey, Mariner.
The American flag.
Nope, sorry, incorrect. Fort Myers, identify this November holiday. Richard.
Veterans Day.
Veterans Day is correct. 10 points, Fort Myers. Next for 10. Explorer Roald Amundsen and the Red Baron of World War I and 1950s rock singer Buddy Holly all died after what kind of machine they were riding in crashed and killed them? Nick, Mariner.
A plane.
A plane killed all three of those famous people. You're right. 10 points, Mariner High School. These novels, Hotel on the Corner of Bitter and Sweet, Kira Kira, Baseball Saved Us, When the Emperor Was Divine, and Farewell to Manzanar, each contain characters whose ancestors were from what Asian country and fought? Rachel W.
Japan.
That's correct. Fought the U.S. in World War II. 10 points, Fort Myers. Next for 10. It maintains a constant temperature for Petri dishes that contain growing organisms. Name this device whose other versions can help both baby chicks and baby Rachel W. again.
Incubator.
They help baby chicks and baby people stay warm and comfortable as they're growing. That's correct. 10 points, Fort Myers. They can be fixed or movable, and several of them together are called a block and tackle. Name this simple machine. Nick, Mariner?
Pulley.
A pulley is the name of the machine I'm looking for. There's quite a description here, but you didn't need that. 10 points to Mariner. Next for 10. It can refer to the bottom circular portion of a right circular cone and can also indicate the horizontal side of a parallelogram that is used to calculate its area. I want you to give this 4-letter word that is, Nick, Mariner.
Base.
Base is correct. It's also a number that is raised to a power. Base, 10 points, Mariner. Next for 10. Born as a slave on Maryland's eastern shore, he became a popular speaker and editor of the newspaper The North Star. His Rachel H.
Frederick Douglass.
Frederick Douglass is correct. His National Historic Site is in Washington, D.C. 10 points, Fort Myers. Next for 10. Give the grammar term for a set of words that don't constitute a subject and a predicate. Alia.
Fragment.
Nope, sorry, fragment's not what I'm looking for. Mariner? Nick?
Subjunctive.
Nope, phrase. Just the word phrase is all I needed. That's okay. Next for 10. It celebrated its 75th anniversary in business in 2015 with a free cone day. Name this nationwide chain that owns Orange Julius and whose Casey, Mariner.
Dairy Queen.
DQ, Dairy Queen. They got blizzards and dilly bars. Yeah, baby. I love dilly bars. 10 points to Mariner High School. Good job. Its website lists some of its duties as supervising national banks and thrift institutions, also advising on domestic and international financial, economic, trade, and tax policy. Name this cabinet department, led in 2015 by Secretary Jacob Rachel W.
The Department of the Treasury.
Department of Treasury is correct. Jacob Lew runs that. They print money. 10 points, Fort Myers High School. Good job. Next for 10. The bryophyte group of plants does not use what common objects in its reproductive process that are used by all other major groups of plants? Casey, Mariner.
Pollen.
Good try. Nope, sorry. Fort Myers. Richard.
Flowers.
Nope, sorry. That's seeds. Just seeds was all I needed. That's okay. Next question for 10. Authors Italo Calvino, Benvenuto Cellini, Umberto Eco, who wrote The Name of the Rose, by the way, Giovanni Boccaccio, who wrote The Decameron, were all born in what European country? Alia, Fort Myers.
Italy.
Italy is correct. That's worth 10 points, Fort Myers. Next for 10, brought to Europe in the Middle Ages. It is usually reddish-brown. Identify this, Casey Mariner.
Clay.
Nope, sorry, incorrect. Maybe a little too soon. Fort Myers, here's the rest. Identify this breed of dog so skilled at hunting that by smell that evidence it finds has been accepted in court. Richard?
Bloodhound.
A bloodhound is exactly right. 10 points, Fort Myers. Sought for centuries by explorers of North America, travelers along it today encounter the Bering Sea, Baffin Bay, and lots of icebergs. Casey Mariner.
Passage to the west.
Passage to the west. Judges? All right, I'll finish the question. It's not much left. Give the two-word term.
The Northwest
Richard.
Passage.
Hang on, Richard. Go ahead.
The Northwest Passage.
The Northwest Passage. The two-word term for the Arctic Ocean route linking the Atlantic and the Pacific. Good try. Very good try. 10 points, though, has to go to Fort Myers. Next for 10. Benjamin Netanyahu is now on his third time as prime minister of what Middle Eastern? Richard, Fort Myers.
Israel.
Israel is the name of the country that we needed to hear. Good job. Fort Myers pulls ahead at 120, Mariner at 50. Mariner, the next round, each question is worth 20 points. And believe me, the scores can come a lot tighter if you get just a couple of questions before Fort Myers does. So we'll see how it plays out when we do that 20-point round coming up. Don't go away.
Our schools are faced with increasing budgetary challenges. Now, there's an easy way for all of us to support education. By purchasing a License for Learning plate and renewing it each year, $20 are contributed to our schools to help our children. Support the License for Learning campaign. If you've got a car, get involved. For more information, call the Foundation for Lee County Public Schools, 239-337-0433. Get involved.
The A-Team Challenge, a major project of the Foundation for Lee County Public Schools, is provided in partnership with the School District of Lee County and Waterman Broadcasting.
Here we go with the 20-point round of the A-Team Challenge. Fort Myers High School versus Mariner High School. Students, hands on your buttons. Each question now worth 20. It is the only planet to rotate on its side. Name this planet. Nick Mariner.
Uranus.
Uranus is correct. It's got the moons Oberon and Titania. Next, you got 20 points, Mariner. Next for 20. Its main character is an orphan who skipped a grade in school for being very smart. Rachel H.
Matilda.
Good guess, maybe a little too soon. Let me finish for Mariner. In its first chapter, that orphan, one of the greasers, gets jumped by the local Sox. Nick, Mariner.
Greece.
No.
Oh.
Sorry. That's actually the last line, Rachel, is by S.E. Hinton, named the long-haired pony boy Curtis story, The Outsiders was the name. All right, next question for 20. Settle down, here we go. Let's see how many we can get. Ready? Ready, here we go. Its parts include the lyosome, the vacuole, the mitochondria. Nick, Mariner.
Cell.
Cell, and the nucleus was the other smallest unit of a living thing. 20 points, Mariner. Next, name the specific category of art practiced by 20th century artists Louise Nevelson, Henry Moore, Alberto Giacometti, Claes Oldenburg, and Constantine Brancusi. Casey, Mariner.
Abstract art.
Sorry, Casey. Good try, though. Fort Myers. Rachel H.
Realism.
Nope. Sculptors. Those were all sculptors. Next, he sent Lewis and Clark on their voyage to discover the West. Rachel H.
Jefferson.
Thomas Jefferson. Identify the U.S. President. 20 points, Fort Myers. Its characters include the author Peter Van Houten, who wrote the novel, and Rachel W.
The Fault in Our Stars.
The Fault in Our Stars. Lots more in that clue there. Augustus and Hazel, the main characters. 20 points, Fort Myers. Identify this nation governed by the Mughal Empire in the Middle Ages that has now been independent since 1940. Alia, Fort Myers.
India.
It's been independent since 1947, part of the British Empire before. India, 20 points, Fort Myers. Next for 20, his website, hatrack.com, lists his works that include his series of tales of Alvin Maker. Name this American sci-fi author whose novel, Speaker for the Dead, is a sequel to his classic book, Ender's Game. Richard, Fort Myers.
Card.
Card, good job. Orson Scott Card, 20 points, Fort Myers. Your speech may slow down or stop as this ailment develops. You may become so rigid you have trouble even swinging your arms when you walk. Casey Mariner.
Alzheimer's?
I'm sorry, Casey, that's not correct. Fort Myers identified the disease named for the 19th century British doctor who called it the shaking palsy for the hand tremors it causes. Rachel W.
Parkinson's?
Parkinson's is what I needed, 20 points there. Next question for 20. Which state forms the western border of Arkansas? Rachel H.
Kansas.
Nope, good try, right direction. Anybody on Mariner's side? Nick, give it a shot.
Missouri.
Nope, all around it though, Oklahoma, where the wind comes sweeping down the plain. Anyway, it involves measuring and adjusting angles on both sets of wheels, as well as the caster angle in the front. It often performs at the same time the car gets a new set of tires. It keeps the tires wearing. Robert, Mariner?
Alignment.
Yeah, keeps them wearing evenly. 20 points, Mariner. Some of its steelhead variety never leave fresh water. Name this tasty fish whose species include chinook, coho, and sockeye. Rachel W.
Salmon.
Salmon is correct, 20 points, Fort Myers. When it occurs between a metal and a non-metal, a salt may be created. Nick, Mariner.
Ionic bonding.
One more time.
Ionic bonding.
Ionic bonding is correct. Name the chemical type of bond. 20 points, Mariner. Next for 20. Its pension fund loaned millions to the 50s in the 1950s to organized crime figures to build major hotels on the Las Vegas Strip. Name this union of truck drivers, long notorious for the corruption of its leaders. Richard, Fort Myers.
The Teamsters.
The Teamsters Union. Jimmy Hoffa, correct. 20 points, Fort Myers. Often used in Spanish and French as a way of shortening a phrase or two words to make it contain fewer sounds or syllables. It can be used in English to avoid use of the entire. Robert, Mariner.
Apostrophe.
Nope, apostrophe is not correct. It can be used in English to avoid the entire word not. Give this grammatical term that describes the word, such as, Alia.
Contraction?
Contraction. Doesn't, can't, and won't is a contraction. 20 points, Fort Myers. In the famed Renaissance mural, The Last Supper, 13 men seated at a table are divided into 4 groups of 3, with what man in the middle? Alia, Fort Myers.
Jesus.
Jesus Christ is correct. 20 points, Fort Myers. Next for 20. Much of the violence during this event was the result of Pinkerton agents being hired by the Carnegie Steel Company to work at one of its plants. Give the general term for this 1892 labor stoppage. Rachel W.
The Pullman strike?
Nope, sorry, incorrect. Mariner, the labor stoppage in Pittsburgh, named for the steel works where the violence took place. Nick.
Carnegie Steel Mill.
Nope, sorry. Good try, both sides. The Homestead strike. All right, that concludes the 20-point round. Mariner is on the board. Fort Myers is on the board with 300. When we come back, the students will be working on the question in the final subject of science. Students, make your wagers based on that, and we'll be back with the results in just a minute.
This one's packed with hope. This one's packed with big dreams. This one's packed with inspiration. It may look like a simple brown bag lunch, but it's really a big way to make a difference. That's because when you become a Take Stock in Children mentor, it takes just 1 hour a week to make an impact that can't be measured. Change a life over lunch. Become a mentor today.
Take Stock in Children is a major program of the Foundation for Lee County Public Schools. For more information on how you can become a mentor, call 239-337-0433 or email info@leeschoolfoundation.org. The A-Team Challenge, a major project of the Foundation for Lee County Public Schools, is provided in partnership with the School District of Lee County and Waterman Broadcasting.
2 pennies by themselves don't add up to much. But when you're a Suncoast member, every time you swipe your Suncoast credit or debit card, Suncoast donates 2 cents to help children's programs where you live. That means Suncoast members help make their community a better place every day just by buying things with their cards. And when we add all those pennies from all those Suncoast card swipes together, we can give millions of dollars to our children's future. Visit SuncoastCreditUnion.com and learn how much Suncoast could save you.
Welcome back to the conclusion of this round of the A-Team Challenge. Fort Myers High School versus Mariner High School. And you might notice a few extra faces, new ones here on the Fort Myers side. Let's introduce you to the alternates. First is right next to me, this is Miranda Walter. Miranda is a senior this year. She has plans to go off and study forensic pathology after high school. And in the back, give us a wave so we can see you there. There's Nozomi Watanabe. Nozomi is planning to go to MIT, and he's a senior this year. Nozomi, thanks very much for being here. All right, so here's the question that the students have been working on in science. The periodic table is divided into 18 groups, one for each column. Name any 4 of the elements to be found in column 18. Now, I wonder how many folks at home would be able to even get close to doing this. Students, of course, learn this in high school, so let's see. The answers are these 6. Now, remember, the question says you only need to give me 4 of the 6. Do we have the answers? Go ahead and put them up there. Helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, and radon. But you only need to give me 4. If you give me 6 and one of them is wrong, you're going to lose and win nothing, or at least lose your score. So we'll go ahead and start with Mariner High School at 130 points. You folks came in, you chose to give me 4, and they are xenon, helium, argon, and krypton. You are absolutely correct. Good job. 130 points you came in with. You wagered that. That gives you 260. Fort Myers High School chose to put down 6, and they are argon, krypton, neon, xenon. Yep, you got all 6. Good for you. You wagered nothing. 300 points stays there. You move on. Fort Myers High School wins the round today. Let's give them a round of applause. And to show that we are good sports and we're having a lot of fun, by the way, these seem to be 2 nice schools. Let's give up and congratulate each other, give each other a congratulatory handshake. Thanks for playing the A-Team Challenge. See you later.